So, anyways, I am back. As you can see, oh, actually, I forgot a couple things. There we go. So, as you can see behind me, the big, I guess, Nintendo collection shelf is not up because it is all, if I slide this way, on the bed behind me. Because I thought, you know what, after almost 2 years of fully collecting Switch games, there are a total of 51 of them. I am looking at a list. This collection behind me, I have a spreadsheet for just because I wanted to see how many of each region I have. So that's from the rated region. So that's like ESRB, the one from Japan. Um, I do have some stuff from Asia as well that don't have a rating, unfortunately, and the price. So, like, what did I pay for said game? I'm not going to reveal the price of every single game, considering there's 51 of them. Technically 52, because one of them hasn't arrived yet and won't arrive until probably October, unfortunately. Um, just because of it being a pre-order back in April to May, which was Doom 1 and 2 from Limited Run. That's the only one I don't have currently on hand, but I have everything else on hand. I do also want to mention Metroid Prime. I do have two copies of this. This is my US copy. And can I. Where's my Japanese copy? It's buried in one of these big stacks, but basically, I bought two different copies of it. I bought my Japanese one first, then I bought this version second because I didn't realize that the Japanese cover was on the inside. Yeah, that's the Japanese cover. Oop. There you go. Yeah, that's the Japanese cover. Yeah, I didn't realize that. If I knew that before I had bought this, I probably would not have bought this version. But yeah, with that now out of the way, this game, by the way, alongside the other two, being Atari 50 and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, those three games, so Metroid Prime, Xenoblade, and Atari 50 are going to be leaving the collection here in the next little bit, because I am looking at buying a Switch 2, and for me, I kind of need to make the budget work with everything. So, unfortunately, those three games, plus the Switch OLED, plus some PS4 stuff as well, including the PS4 itself, because I don't really use the PS4 that often anymore, are going to be leaving. And you might be wondering, oh, what about the PS4 collection? The only two games from that collection that actually have some decent trade value is Final Fantasy 1 to 6 Pixel Remaster, and that has about a $32 trade. And the Dark Souls Trilogy has about a $22 or so trade value. So those two games are going to be leaving the collection there. Everything else for the PS4 are primarily going to stay. Just because they don't really have a lot of trade value. I think the most is like $10, $10, $15. Not really worth it for trade. But yeah, because the console's expensive, I kind of need to make the budget work. So I'm sorry if you can hear my dog's bark. So without further ado, I will be going through these somewhat I'm not going to really go through them as I have them listed because on the wall they're not in that order. Because I am trying to complete a quote unquote set here. Unfortunately, I haven't been very, very lucky in getting the last game I need, which is Pokemon Sword. I do have a digital version. I need a physical copy, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to pick one up yet. I am still kind of hoping to try to pick one up this year, but who knows what's going to happen there. So we'll start off with the Pokemon collection here. Most of them are Japanese just because of availability and price. I will talk about what I paid for the Pokemons. Some of them are actually a pretty good deal when I bought them, but some of them weren't a great deal. And all of them except for except for Violet and Arceus, which are my two quote unquote North American ones, were bought via eBay. Arceus was bought off of Amazon, and Pokemon Violet was bought at a EB Games in Calgary the same day that I bought my Switch because I was visiting family at the time. Without further ado, I have them all sort of stacked from how I pulled them out. I'm just hoping I actually. I'm hoping I haven't actually deleted that. I might have though. Yes, I didn't delete it. Good. Because I need to put these games back in the order of when they released. So, first off, we have Let's Go Eevee. Like I said, this is a Japanese copy. Eevee, I paid actually not crazy for. And granted, like I said, most of these, except Arceus and Violet, came from eBay. $45 for this game. That's actually pretty darn reasonable for a Japanese copy of Pokemon. Pokemon Snap. This one. Oh, actually, I did get an okay deal on it, actually. I thought I paid a little bit more. For it. And all these prices are at the time of when I bought them. This one right here, which like I said is new Pokemon Snap, I paid $57 for. Sorry if you can hear that dripping. Weird. Yeah, $57 for it. Not bad. Thought I paid way more than that. Then we have Shining Pearl, which is what I paid $32 for it. So again, not too shabby. Arceus, like I said, this one came off of Amazon. I bought this and one other game, actually, I think one or two other games, actually. Let me see what else I grabbed. Because I know, like I said, when I bought them. Orders. Because there is another game, maybe two more in this collection behind me that I bought the same day. It could be Arceus and another game. Yeah, 2024. Yes, there was one other game I bought the same day. Alongside the Pro Controller and the CD as well. So yeah, Arceus I paid, let me just find it here on my list here, $74.95, so a little bit more for it, but it is what it is. Pokemon Violet, which is the first Switch game I bought, actually, the same day, like I said. This one was 62, yeah, 6209 for it, so not too bad. And this was a used copy. It looks in pretty good shape because I did replace the case, because the old storage unit I had sort of messed up the plastic. So I jumped onto Video Game Plus, where some of these games came from, and I bought spare cases. So, yeah, I bought like 10 for like $30 or something, so not too bad. So this one has a replacement case, but the artwork is still my original artwork. So like I said, so it's about $60 just over. And then we have Detective Pikachu Returns, which was a very, very good deal. I think it was like 18 US or something like that. $25 new. I think it was new or used. I can't remember. But yeah, pretty damn good price. So yeah, so yeah, so very, very happy to get that those into the collection. And you might be wondering, like, what are you going to do for Switch 2? Switch 2 for me is going to be a little bit strange. There might be some games where I do go down the route of the keycard side of things. I don't want to, but if that's my only option, then I will. I prefer stuff on full cartridge, and stuff like that. But if I have to go down a keycard route, or even a quote unquote code in a box type of crap, I will. I won't want, if I was going to go down the either a code in a box or digital, I'm just going to go straight digital. It's the same thing. It's just a box with a code. But I don't really know yet. And you might be wondering, like, oh, what's the first game going to be? Pokemon ZA in October. I think it's like the 16th. I think it is. And it's expensive. It's, I think, if I there it is. I think it's like $120. I think, roughly. There it is. Pokemon ZA Switch 2. Yeah, it's so if I hit pre-order here, I'm not actually going to pre-order it now because I don't have the Switch 2. I just want to see sort of what the full price is going to be. Switch 2 edition. Oh. Okay, so there is no tax. That's kind of nice. So it's like $100, like $99.99. At least that's what it's showing right now. If I do that, yeah, $99.99. So not too bad. So yeah, so I do have some very expensive visual novels in the collection as well, like some that are like $100 plus, sort of thing. And I'll point out which ones are expensive versus a little bit more, should I say, quote unquote, reasonable. The first one, I think these next two of them, this one plus the next two, are kind of expensive. We have Nurse Love Obsession. I picked this up off of Amazon for, I think it was like $107. I think it was. 106. Okay, close enough. Very, very hard one to find because it was a distributed title by Limited Run. Yeah, so kind of a hard one to find. I haven't actually played it, but a lot of the games I have in the collection are ones that I've wanted to play, or ones I thought were a good deal. and I should grab them before they jump up in price or were on sale at the time. And this unfortunately wasn't because it was on Amazon. You can still get it digitally. It's kind of expensive. I think it's like 70 something dollars Canadian. But one of the more obscure ones I have in my collection. Then we have Nightshade. This one is one of the ones I got from PlayAsia. Most of the imports actually all my imports, or I shouldn't say all, a lot of my imports are from PlayAsia. There are a few that are from eBay, but most of them are from PlayAsia. This is one of them. Again, very highly rated, well-regarded visual novel. If you want, I can actually play this if you guys want me to. It is kind of expensive. It was $82, so kind of an expensive one. But now we're getting into some of the more expensive ones. Steam Prison. This was actually in the video I did for all my visual novels. This one was, if I can find it here on my list, was $100. $100.46 for this. I don't actually have its sequel, which is I think Beyond Steam. I could have picked it up at the same time, but that order was already very expensive. It was like $180. It was Nightshade, Steam Prison, and Rage, the Japanese version of Rage, for $360. That order was like $180, so I was like, probably not. But there is one visual novel in here where I did grab its sequel because I didn't know how often I would come across it on Amazon, and I will talk about that when it shows up in the pile behind me. I actually did a video in it a while ago this year, I think. It was either this year or last year. I think it was this year. And then we have Love Call Me Trilogy. Again, another one of the ones from PlayAsia. And it wasn't actually too bad. It was like $40. So I was like, you know what? And it's the fully complete version. Like, it has everything. Like, it has the manual and stuff in it. This isn't actually one that I have actually played. But again, for $40, I thought, you know what? Let's try it. Then we have one of the, I guess, more difficult ones for me to find. There is another one buried somewhere in this collection behind me. Is it actually under? Oh, it's actually in the stack that I'm working through right now, actually. The Messenger. Yes. Finally picked it up. It was kind of expensive, but not super expensive. It's like $52. This one, again, was from PlayAsia. Or, sorry, not PlayAsia. Video Game Plus. And you might be wondering, like, why did it take you so long to get it? Availability and budget, unfortunately. It just took me forever to get the budget and actually be able to get a copy. So I was super happy that they restocked these for a bit. And I think they might actually still have some in stock right now. I think. Yes. Oh, wait. They have PS5 copies available. They don't have any Switch copies available as of recording. They have 10 plus for PS5 copies, but if you want a physical copy for Switch, you're out of luck from Video Game Plus. For now, anyways. They might come back in stock, but who knows? But yeah. And like I said, here's my Japanese copy of Metroid Prime Remastered. This is the one I'm keeping, trading off my North American copy. because there's the U.S. or North American cover art right there. Um, yeah, I do prefer this cover over the North American copy. I want to see, is the cartridge artwork the same or different? Oh, no, it's the same. I couldn't actually remember. Then we have Gris, which I bought in May, actually just recently. Again, one of the longer ones took me to get, just because of budget and everything like that. Super happy to finally get it into the collection, and they do have them available for Switch from Video Game Plus. They have 10 plus available as of recording. But again, very happy to get this into the collection, which we might actually play next week, actually. Let's do this collection here, or this stack here. We have Tokyo Clampo, which was the first Play Asia game I actually ordered. There's a ton that I ordered at the same time as this game, because I kind of had a sneaking suspicion from another channel that I watch called Physical Paradise. And basically, due to the shall I say, explicit nature of some of the characters in this game, Nintendo has sort of quote unquote removed it. So the only way to get a physical copy is to order it from Play Asia. So when I heard about that, I was like, okay, I have to order it. And I ordered a lot of these like end of December of last year, by the way. This was one of those. Then we have, and that one was kind of expensive. That one was like $60. And I will be doing a full recap at the end of the year of all of these games again, plus anything I pick up for Switch 2. Actually, what I might do is I might add on to this when I do the Switch 2 stuff and just basically combine everything. This was an expensive one. The Grisaya Trilogy. So it was, I think, $80 plus tax and all that. So it was like 80 something dollars. What did I actually pay for it? I actually can't remember. Yeah, I paid like 62 US, so yeah, so about $80 Canadian, just over 80. And then unfortunately, this did end up having to have import and stuff on top, so it ended up being like 110 at the end of it. So kind of an expensive one. It does play in English, but I guess one of the more obscure games I have in the collection behind me. You can still get the Grisaya Trilogy. It is expensive though. You can get a digital copy, so if you do want it, I would recommend getting it digitally because it's a little bit cheaper. And you don't have to wait for shipping. And a lot of that game actually I ordered in January, and it arrived in February, like basically within a month. So I ordered it, I think, the 11th of January and arrived the 11th of February. And it was weird because I got a tag because obviously it was winter. They didn't really want to come down. Fair enough. Road was icy at the time. And when I picked up the box, I'm like, from obviously the post office after paying the import and stuff, I was like, what is it? Because I had completely forgot that I even ordered it. It's just one of those things. Then we have Maid of the Dead. Again, another really weird sort of weird type of game. Kind of interesting to play. I haven't really given it a good chance, but one of those sort of interesting ones. I didn't pay. I actually paid a little bit more than I thought for it. It was about $51. I thought I paid less than that, but I went back through my PlayAsia orders, pulled all the numbers, and that's what this one ended up being. Oh, kind of expensive. Then we have Animal Crossing. This one was kind of expensive. This one was, I think, 80s. Yeah, $81 for this game. And the funny thing is, actually, this was one of the ones that I was originally going to trade to bring the price down for Switch 2. But then I noticed when I did a little bit of when I jumped onto GameStop's website, went through sort of the daily trade calculator, shall we say, and typed in Xenoblade, it was the exact same price for trade as this. So I basically swapped Animal Crossing for Xenoblade. So there could be more videos in Animal Crossing at some point. Then we're getting into some more distributed titles from Limited Run. This game that I'm about to show, plus the next one that's on top, were from the vault. Basically meaning once in a while they'll open up the vault and bring back some stuff so then people could jump on it if they've missed it or didn't get in time at conventions, stuff like that. This is one of those. Yeah, a very weird game. I actually haven't actually played it. I think this is an RPG, I think. Let me just double check on that. Oh, no, it is a visual novel. It is a visual novel. Interesting. I didn't even realize it was a visual novel, but kind of a weird one. I like the artwork is kind of interesting, and I didn't pay that much for it. Actually, I only paid. Why can't I find it? I paid $35 for it, so not too bad. Then we have Embers of Mirim, which again was one of the ones from the vault at the same time as this game. Yeah, so I ordered these two same day. This is, I have played a little bit of this, not on the channel, but I have played it in my own time. Is an adventure platformer, so kind of a weird one. Yeah, not too badly priced. I think that one was like $21. Then we're getting into more PlayAsia stuff. This one was kind of expensive. I was actually looking at buying this for $360 actually, and I still might. But I'm super happy to finally get this into the collection one way or another. Death Smiles 1 and 2. And it comes with the bonus art cards as well, because this was a brand new copy. And as you can see, if I grab them here, there's the art cards. Steel sealed. So, yeah, super happy to finally get this into the collection. I paid a little bit more for it than I thought I would. Otherwise, this was like $67, which is kind of expensive, but if you break it down, it's actually not too bad. Then we have Skywalker Saga. This was a very, very good deal. I paid where is it? I paid like $30 for this copy, brand new. I do enjoy them. They're like some sort of the weird type of things I do enjoy. I have quote unquote finished. Oh, what is it? Force Awakens, the Lego Force Awakens. There are still some stuff I have to do in that on the back half of it, but I've basically done everything. I've done all the campaign stuff. This one I'm stuck at in a spot, and I haven't actually continued it with it yet. And I actually do have some DLC for this as well. These two are the first two quote unquote imports that I bought for the Switch. And I bought these two on the same day, same time, from Amazon. Um, and these unfortunately got held up at the time because they were supposed to be here like on the 15th of November of last year, but they didn't come until like late December because at the time Canada Post was on strike until basically late December because they didn't get the deal that they wanted, and they're technically still right now on strike again for the second time in less than 6 months. So I thought when I ordered these, I was actually originally going to go through eBay, to be honest. But I was like, let me take a shot in the dark. Let me look on Amazon. I found them. Found both of them. So, Food Girls and Food Girls 2 Civil War. I did a video on this a bit ago. Total price was $158 for both of them, or about $70 a piece. So, a little bit pricey for these visual novels, but very, very obscure and kind of tricky to find if you don't know where to look. Like I said, I found them on eBay, or sorry, on Amazon in my case. Look through eBay. I think maybe Play Asia might have them. I'm on Video Game Plus right now. This is, let's see. They do have, so Video Game Plus does have the sequel. They do have the sequel, but they don't have the first game. And that was another one that I was actually looking at using, was Video Game Plus. Unfortunately, they only have... Oh, no. Yeah, they did have it, but it was and still is out of stock from Video Game Plus. But if I jump over to Play Asia, they might have it still. Let me just check. Food Girls. Yes, they have both. Well, actually, they're sold out. They're completely out of print, out of stock. So if you do want them, I would recommend Amazon if you can, but eBay would be your best bet. I would say, unfortunately, for those ones. Then we'll go with this stack here. This one here, I'm just trying to again find the list here. Here it is. This is an interesting one. This is Panic in Sweetsland. Again, one of the Play Asia games I ordered, again, a while ago. And all my imports that I buy, if it's from eBay or Play Asia, anything like that, it has to have English in one of two ways. Be fully playable in English, or at least have English subtitles. And all of my imports do have that. So this is one of the Asian games because of the rating system down here is their rating. So this is Panic in Sweetsland. I actually haven't played it. I might actually do a video on that also next week, actually. This one wasn't also too... Actually, it was actually kind of expensive. It was like $58, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. And then we have Silent Hope. which is $55 is what I paid for it, and it came with like the soundtrack and art book as well. That's the bigger box that's hidden over in the corner there. Let me actually grab it. Actually. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is the bigger box. This is so this was the only way to buy it. There wasn't a way to just buy just a game. You had to buy this whole bundle. So like I said, so it comes with the full game, a 96-page art book and the soundtrack. And again, this doesn't trade in for much. I think it's like $16, so I'm just going to keep it. Then we have there it is. Celeste. I finally picked this up. I ordered this in I think January and it arrived in like February. Again, this was one of the Amazon orders that I did, and it was actually kind of expensive. It was like $87, which is kind of high, but again, it is what it is. I can't remember if this was an Amazon one or from Video Game Plus because I ended up actually ordering two of them because due to a damn shipping glitch. It said that the order was quote unquote canceled due to insufficient shipping info basically, and I knew I needed it within like I think I needed it within like 24 hours or something like that, maybe 72 at most, because I was actually going to do videos in it. So I jumped online that night, paid way too much for it, to get here within 48 hours. I paid like next day shipping. It was all because of this stupid glitch. So the second copy I ordered, I ended up giving to a buddy of mine, so he can play it. I might end up jumping back into this at some point. I'm not sure. This was ended up being like $70. $70. Then we have the first limited run game I have in my collection, because this is actually a numbered copy, and I'll show you that number here in a minute. Lollipop Chainsaw. Let me grab something. Unfortunately, my 360 copy isn't what I would consider complete. It does have a proper 360 case, but the artwork is printed because when I bought it back in like 2019 or something like that, it was disc only. For I think it was like $5 or something. Luckily enough, I had a spare 360 case, but no artwork, so I ended up printing it. But to prove, there's the disc. Yeah, there it is. There's the disc. Very fun game. Haven't 100%ed it yet. I do want to go and try to do that. But that one took me a while to find for 360. That I could find PS3s for days. But due to the HDCP, or basically the encrypted signal of the PS3, I can't capture. So the only way for me to play it was on 360, which I do have. I actually have two. I have a Japanese one and a North American one. I had to find a 360 one, and it took me forever. I think it took me like over a year to find it. But when I heard that there was a new, a quote-unquote remake coming, I was like, yay, I'll grab that. Thinking, okay, I'll be at retail and all that. Nope. Limited run. So I ordered this August of last year, actually, August 11th. So actually almost a year ago. And it was expensive. It ended up being $84, so almost 85 bucks. And you can get a digital for about 75, 80. I think it's something like that. What is it actually? I think it's something like that. There it is. I can actually remove it off my wish list. Yeah, so right now it's like 40 bucks right now. Just over 40 bucks. It'll be probably about 45 for it if you want to get it on as a digital copy. So it's like $62. So it'd be about close to $70 probably with tax and all that. This wasn't that. It was $80. And you're probably wondering, like, how can you tell if it's a distributed versus a numbered one? So let me grab Nurse Love Obsession here for a second. Right? So, Lollipop Chainsaw, if you can see that number right there, that's how you can tell if it's a distributed or not. So this is number 248. So that's how many they made of them. So if I grab my Nurse Love Obsession here, you can see, just trying to remove the glare, there is no number there. So that is one way you can tell. Or I guess the only way you can tell, really. Then we have Final Fantasy 1-6 Pixel Remastered. Yeah, so this I ordered again off of Amazon. At the same time, I also ordered this game, Silent Hope. Yeah, this I ended up ordering because it was on sale. It was like 60. What was it? Yeah, like $69. So basically 70 bucks for it. It typically retails for about $100, just over $100 Canadian, and it even has the sticker sheet in it. So yeah, so I'm super happy to have this in the collection for, shall we say, somewhat of a reasonable price, shall we say. Somewhat of a reasonable price. And I also ordered the PS4 version as well, which is one of the ones that I am trading away to bring the price of the Switch 2 down. Then we have a physical copy of House Flipper. Yes. It was one, again, from PlayAsia. I don't think I paid that much for it. I paid, again, about 40 bucks for it, so not too bad. I have played it. I'm not sure if I've done a video in it, though. I can't remember. I'll have to take a look. If not, again, this could be one of the ones that we play next week. Then we have Star Wars Heritage pack. So this is 7 games on one cartridge. Well, download. Some of them are on cartridge. Some of them are downloads. This one I ended up actually ordering from Best Buy. Actually, I walked in, saw that it was there for a reasonable price. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It was like 60 bucks, so a little expensive, but not too bad. I think it was like typically like 79, I think. So typical full price. Paid 60 bucks for it. Unfortunately, they actually had to ship it to me. Unfortunately, they didn't have any in stock that day. Some of them are fun. We might actually do some of these maybe at some point this year. So that is 4 stacks down, actually. 2 remaining. We have, next up, we have another one that I bought the sequel of the same day, actually, because it was part of a bigger order. We have Gunvolt Luminous Avenger IX and IX2. So yeah, they're about 20 bucks a piece, so not terrible, but yeah, really weird games. I do need to play them again. Then we have Fae Farm. Yes, this is kind of an interesting one due to the developer, shall we say. This was kind of an expensive one. This one was, actually, $72. Yeah, $72. So this is developed by Phoenix Labs. They did Dauntless, which I did a video in here a few days ago, actually. I think it was like the 29th of May is when I did the video, because the servers were closing. That game is no longer available to play. It's completely offline. I'm not sure what they're going to do next. They might do some more stuff for Fae Farm, or they might end up doing another game, or they might just end up shutting down. Who knows? I don't really know what's going to happen. I haven't heard anything from them recently. So yeah, a little bit of an interesting one. I have played this. I'm not sure if I've done videos in it. I might have, because I enjoyed the demo a lot, actually. So I thought, you know what, I'll buy the game. Didn't realize how expensive it was. It was almost as expensive as Arceus. Arceus was 74. This was 72, so kind of an expensive one. I wasn't expecting it to be that expensive. But this does have, I believe, all the DLC on the cartridge. So because of that, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. Then we have Rune Factory 5, my first Rune Factory game. And again, I might trade this. It all really depends on what the trade value is. And why can't I find... There it is. Yeah. It was about 45 bucks and pretty reasonable for it. I might do some more stuff in it. I might not. Who knows? Then we have Hollow Knight. Finally picked up Hollow Knight in the collection, because just like everyone, I'm kind of interested in Silksong. Hollow Knight Silksong. It's quote-unquote sequel. So I thought, you know what, I'd better play the original first, so then I sort of know some of the controls, mechanics, all that sort of stuff. But I couldn't find a decent price for it from either Best Buy, GameStop / EB Games, because at that time they were rebranding. Yeah, like it was just super expensive. So I actually, for this one, went through Fangamer, and I should have ended up going digital for it, but I didn't. I went through Fangamer. It was like $63, but it is fully complete. It has all the manuals and everything in it, like the poster and the sort of the manual type of thing for it. Very fun game. Again, has all the DLC for it. I probably wouldn't go through Fangamer because it does take some time to ship and stuff like that. I think I waited about close to 3 weeks for this game. So I probably would end up going through like GameStop or something like that. Now we get into more of the Play Asia stuff. And this one is actually from Asia in terms of the rating and all that. And this is Calderius Blaze, however you pronounce it. So this is what the artwork looks like. Very, very weird. So it's sort of like an arcade shooter type of thing. I probably, if I do some of these games on the channel, I probably will have to age restrict it, unfortunately, which I hate doing, but I will have to do that. Then we have good old Minecraft. This is actually an older copy of Minecraft. They have a newer version of it now, but this is the original version for it. And I didn't pay that much for it. I think I paid like, well, actually, I paid around $40 for it. This was actually the second game I bought for the Switch after Pokemon Violet. Violet was the first. This was the second one I bought for the Switch. Then we have another one from PlayAsia, which is actually a PlayAsia exclusive. Death Road to Canada, which is sort of a weird one. And that one wasn't actually too bad. That was like $24, so it's like, fine, whatever, I'll pick it up. And you might be wondering, like, why do you pick up a lot of these games? It's either ones that I have seen people play on Twitch or on YouTube, or have talked about in other videos, like from Physical Paradise, for example. So I do try to pick up some of the stuff that he's talked about. Actually, some of these games actually he did talk about, like Tokyo Clampool, for example. He talked about in a separate video because of everything going on there. But everything else, I sort of did my own research, except for the Steam Prison and Nightshade. Those were in a video that he did talking about visual novels. So now we get to some of the more. Now we get into the last stack. This does have some expensive games in it. Starting off with probably this game is the most expensive game I've ever bought, minus physical hardware. Like for example, this is the Xbox One controller for the One S that I have. It's more expensive than what I paid for my One S or any of my consoles, basically, except for my Switch. My Switch was actually kind of expensive, considering it's the Tears of the Kingdom edition. But besides by consoles and that sort of stuff, this is the most expensive game I own. Super Mario 3D All Stars. This was basically $208 used. Bought this in, I think it was September of 2023. Yeah, so it's a kind of an expensive one, very, very hard to find. Like all the prices that I've seen now for it are like well over 200 for a used, like 210, 220 for used. And if you want new, you're looking well over $300 Canadian for it. And you might be wondering, why is it that expensive? Because it was celebrating, I think it was 30 years? I think it was 30 years? It was either 30 or 35. I can't remember. Let me just take a quick Google. There it is. 35th anniversary of the Super Mario series. So you're talking Mario 64, excuse me, Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. The funny thing is, actually, I could play 2 out of the 3 of them because I have my Nintendo Wii. And yes, this is one of the ones I can play GameCube games. One of the very, very early versions. So this was a 001. So I've had this since 2006. So yeah, this is a very, very early console. And it still works. It's fully usable. I used it recently for some stuff. But yeah, it's still fully playable. But because this game was only it was released on the 18th of September 2020, and it was available until March 31st of 2021 when it was discontinued and removed from the Nintendo eShop. So yeah, it because of its limited availability, it is a kind of a hard one to find. Like if I look at Video Game Plus, I doubt they even have copies. Nope, they don't even have it. Wow, that's expensive. So yeah. So I ended up paying a little bit more than I wanted for it, but I'm super happy I have it in the collection, even though I paid well above what I think it was worth. I'm glad I finally have it in the collection. This is actually the only game that I would have bought before I had the hardware back in 2020. I didn't buy hardware until 3 years later, July of 2023. So this was one of the ones. This would have been the only game that I would have bought if I knew it was limited from Nintendo, even before I had hardware, which I never do. I always, when I buy games and stuff like that, I always make sure I have the hardware to play them. Right. Next up, we have Super Mario Odyssey. This I got a very good deal on. I sort of typed it in one day on Amazon. It was like $57. I'm like, done. So decent deal. So yeah. Next we have Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This does have a quote unquote upgrade pack for Switch 2. And there it is. This one was kind of expensive because I typically buy used games. Unfortunately, this one I did have to buy new, and I couldn't get it from Video Game Plus or from GameStop. I had to actually order it from Best Buy. So I had to pay their shipping and all that, and it ended up being like what, 90? Where is it here? Yeah, like $90. If you don't already own it, and you do want it on Switch, too, it's going to be expensive. It is currently, this is again coming from Video Game Plus, $115. But for me, since I already own it, I can pay like the $30 upgrade. So, granted, I'm still paying probably around that, but I can still use my physical copy. So that's kind of nice. And I don't have to spend extra just because. I could still buy a second copy, later if it becomes used. But let me actually go into it because I'm not sure if it's one of the ones that is on keycard or if it is on full cartridge. It looks like, according to Video Game Plus's website, it is on full cartridge. So for the Switch 2 version, you get the base game, so you get Forgotten Land plus the Star-Crossed World expansion. So yeah. Then we have Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I never played this back in the day on like 3DS, Wii U, and stuff like that. I just didn't. But when I saw it, I was like, you know what, for 65 bucks, I'll grab it. It's actually kind of fun. I do need to get back playing this. Then we have, I would say, probably one of the better deals I've done for Switch 2 games. And that is Borderlands 3. This is the Ultimate Edition. Yes, there is some download stuff, which I think is just some extra DLC and voice packs. 30 bucks, brand new for this. So when I saw it was 30 bucks from GameStop, I was like, you know what? For 30 bucks for the Ultimate Edition, yeah, that's a no-brainer, because even if we go right now back to Video Game Plus and we do Borderlands 3, yeah, it's the same price right now. Like, it's actually on sale right now from Video Game Plus. It's like 20 bucks Canadian. So you're paying about $23. It might actually be more than that because of shipping. But yeah, no, it is available from Video Game Plus. Then we have, again, an import exclusive. This is Okami, which is a very, very fun game. I did a video in it a while. And it is actually kind of expensive. According to Video Game Plus, right now, it's on sale for $29.99. So if you don't have it and want it, I recommend going through Video Game Plus. Otherwise, it is 50 bucks. But I didn't pay anywhere near that. I paid... Where is it? I paid $36 for it. So, because again, this was from PlayAsia and I had stuff also in the same order. Then we have... now we're down to the last two games in the collection. I'm just trying to find the price for... Yeah, there it is. We have Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Again, this is the Japanese version, because I didn't want to pay what Limited Run was asking. So from Video Game Plus, unfortunately it's sold out for Switch, but they do have PS4 versions available. They have 10 plus, so more than 10. It's 60 bucks. But I bought this directly from PlayAsia, so I didn't have to worry about any of that. But if you could have got it from Video Game Plus, it's like 65 bucks, which actually is not bad, because some of these games apparently can get kind of expensive. But again, super, super happy. Does play in English. And then we have there it is. This one is available actually from PlayAsia, but this one's not. This one is, or sorry, from Video Game Plus. This one's from PlayAsia, because again, I ordered it the same day as I ordered Seven Sirens. We have Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition. So right now it is 40 bucks. You're saving $15 as of recording, but I paid $37 for it, so not bad. And I paid $52 for Seven Sirens, so a little bit more, but it is what it is. Yeah, so that is all 51 Switch games in the collection, which is actually kind of a lot, way more than I thought I would have had at this point. I know there's a lot more people who have way bigger collections than I do. But again, I casually collect for 360, or sorry, for Switch. But yeah, So very, very happy to have what I have in the collection behind me. Um, so yeah, like I said, there might be some Switch 2 stuff later in the year, but depends on budgets and stuff like that at the time. But anyways, that is it.